Buenas, buenas, mi gente. Bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio. Welcome to a new episode of Hablamos Spanglish. Today, I'm joined by my friend Thali Sugisawa, a vibrant woman of Brazilian and Japanese roots who now lives in Orlando and is a voice for diversity and representation. In today's conversation, Thali shared her personal story of moving to the United States with big dreams and how volunteerism and mentorship paved her way to success. In addition, we will discuss how our struggles as minorities strengthen our spirit, the importance of visibility in representation, and why our accents are superpowers instead of barriers. Join us on this heartfelt episode about growth, passion, and the transformative power of the arts. Así que ponte cómodo because Hablamos Spanglish is about to begin. Let's get started. Hey, Thali.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have you here at Hablamos Spanglish. You and I met, I think, over a year ago. We were talking about all the wonderful things that you did with the organization that you used to work for regarding culture
Yeah.
and diversity and the amazing things that you guys did for the community. And after that, you were able to take a pause for yourself,
Yeah.
and you just came back like, I don't know, like this whole vibe in you. So, and now working with United Arts with our friend Jennifer Evans, who was also here at
Yeah.
Hablamos Spanglish. So I'm really looking forward to our conversation today.
I'm so excited
Mhm.
to be here. Yeah.
So Tali, tell us a little bit. There was something that I was able to presence last week when we were at the Mentoring Monday event. You were part of the panelists,
Yeah.
and I just loved how you started. Like that conversation, because it was like, you know what, I belong here. I earned this seat on the table.
Yeah.
So I know sometimes as minority, we that can be, I don't know, like misunderstood or you get confused, or I don't know how to call it, but I just love that you were able to stand out for yourself and also for other minorities in the room.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we were talking about people's perceptions through social media or sometimes just in real life, right? And having worked with someone very influential in the county, in government, and then creating a nonprofit with this person who's amazing, right? But I had a lot of people come up come up to me and ask, do you think that you're being tokenized?
Mm,
Do you think you're like this multicultural token in
wow.
this? And I think some of them meant well, they were like kind of looking up for me, but I it kind of hurt me because I was like, well, if you think that I'm being used, if you think that I'm just a token, then you haven't checked my resume.
Wow.
You have to go back to my LinkedIn and see my experience and see what I worked for,
Mm-hmm.
my background, what I went to school for, and I think that's another challenge for us who come from another country
Yes.
as adults. You get here and no one really knows which school you went to. It
Yeah.
means nothing to them, right? So even making friends and making connections in our adult years, we don't have those basic connection points that people who are from this country have. They know the universities and colleges that they went to, and they can connect to that in that level. And for me, I was born and raised in Brazil. I lived there most of my life until I was 31 years old.
Wow.
So when you move here, just really start from zero. So it's easy for people to have that kind of perception that you are just, some some diversity token.
Yeah.
And I, with love, but also with being very honest, I called them out. And I was like, no, have to go check my LinkedIn.
I love it. And I love it. But sometimes if we don't, sometimes we can have that imposter syndrome, right? Like, and if we are going through that, we might be able to say, oh, is that true? Am I being used as a token? So that also can, that question can come into
Absolutely. Yeah. And thanks for saying that, because the first times that people came to me and said that, it really shook me. And I was really thinking, am I? But I think, moving to a new country, you need to get your courage up.
I know.
Otherwise you don't survive.
Exactly.
Right? And I've been called thin-skinned, and I know I'm a very sensitive person. I'm not ashamed of that. I am a sensitive person. But I am also very strong.
Yes.
So I think this has been also the story of my life. Things hurt me, but then I'm like, wow, I'm not going to give up.
No, you're so brave. You're so brave.
Yeah, it just, slowly it builds that another layer. And then eventually I think we find our how to respond and what to say in situations like that. But it takes time.
It takes time.
Yeah, the imposter syndrome is always there.
It's always there. But I love when you understand, and you're, all the things that you have gone through, and to be where you are is like, oh no, I earned this. I earned the seat at the table. Like, I earned to be on this panel among these women, and for me, it's been also, I have gone through that same path where I remember somebody well known in the community said, hey, Anna, be careful to be that token within the Hispanic community, right? And for me, it was like, wow, I don't want to feel like, they're using me. But then I had to reflect, like, no, everything that I been earning, and their words or whatever is there, is because of the hard work that I'm putting in there.
Well, there's another side of that too that I learned along the years. Sometimes I can see that I am being, I don't want to say tokenized, but I am representing someone either from Latin America or from an Asian descent, right? And I am 100% fine with that. I think representation matters.
Yes.
And it can be unauthentic. It can be that you're just checking a box. I think my job then is to show that I am more than just a box. I'm here. I can provide you with something, and most of all, I can really be here, and someone who looks like me can look at that and be like, okay, I can do that one day. Because growing up, I never saw anyone in movies, in soap operas, in magazines who looked like me.
No.
Especially growing up in Brazil as a Japanese kid.
Wow.
You just did not see that. And I think that was a big part of me wanting to move here one day, just feeling like I cannot fit this Brazilian box, but I can also not fit this Japanese box, because my mom is Brazilian, my dad is Japanese. So I'm like, maybe I just need to go somewhere else where I can just invent my box or find another box that I can fit. So when I was like 9 years old, I came to Disney for the first time, and just going in Magic Kingdom and seeing people speaking different languages and all of that, I was like, this is
where I belong.
This is Disney. The place. No one is like, I don't think no one is going to, notice that I look different, because everyone looked different. And not that, Brazil is a very diverse country. Everyone is from, has some kind of European descent or Asian descent or African descent, but it's, it's not the norm. No. It's just not the norm. So, it's just...
You wanted to feel part of, right?
Yeah,
exactly. And I think that that's what we look for here. For
Mm-hmm.
me, for example, when I learn about diversity and inclusion being a program, I was like, what is that? Why do
Yeah.
does that exist?
Yeah.
Because for me it's kind of like, this should be something natural,
Right.
something, that is within you.
Yeah.
But then, you understand that, it's, of course, we are here in a country where immigrants and different
Yeah.
backgrounds. So it's just a program for us to feel also, um, I think, just recognized
Yeah.
and being represented.
Yeah.
And I think that's also why I, what my passion is, and that I want to, and what I want to accomplish is also like, I want to inspire my Latino community or my minority communities to see, hey, Anna has an accent. Yes, she came here and she has gone through difficult things in her life,
Yeah.
but she has worked hard and she's determined, and she has achieved this. So I can do it too.
Yes. And let me tell you something. When I first started my previous job, I would sit in big meetings and I would start by apologizing for my accent.
Mm.
I'd be like, hi, my name is Thali. First of all, I'm so sorry about my accent. If you don't
Mm.
understand what I'm saying, just ask. And it was so sad, but
Mm.
I felt like I needed to do that. And then one day someone said, listen, your
Yeah.
accent is your superpower.
Yes.
It means you're bilingual or trilingual. So don't apologize for that. And that was the moment that it clicked. And I'm like, why am I apologizing for this?
I know.
So it is a journey because we feel like we can't belong having those different, I don't know, features
Yes.
that we have, but we can and we should,
Yes.
because we help build this country. We pay taxes like everyone else. We contribute to the economy like everyone else. So I think DEI is important for the gatekeepers who have been gatekeepers for a long time in this country to step aside and let us lead too, not just serve, but lead as well.
I love it. I love it. And you mentioned, 3 languages. So also, you have two different backgrounds, but you're here now in
Yeah.
the United States, so it's kind of like three, right?
Yeah.
How was it when you came to the United States? Because I feel like your story is completely different from, many stories that we have had here,
Mm.
and Hablamos Spanglish, and it's because you were like, okay, I want to go there. I want to feel included. I want
Yeah.
to feel part of.
Mm-hmm.
So how was it when you came here to the US? How was that
Yeah.
first experience of?
Yeah. So when I moved to Orlando was almost 10 years ago, in 2015. So I was already 31 years old. I had a career. I moved here for a job, but that had been my dream since I was 9 years old. Since I first came to the
Wow.
U.S. to enjoy Disney, I knew that that's what I wanted. So I I just I'm very determined. So I went to school, I went to college to study international relations. My second option was journalism because I thought, I could be
Mhm.
some kind of international reporter. But growing with more sense of community, I saw in international relations also a chance to one day maybe working for the UN and,
Mhm.
it's a very diplomatic heart. And then my first job was with international trade as well, working for Fujifilm distributor in Brazil. That was my very first
Oh,
job at
wow.
18, which brought me here. I stayed the first job from 18 to 31. So I finally was able, so from 9 years old to 31, it was a long time,
Yeah.
but finally I had the opportunity to move here for a project. And once I did, I realized that it was just time for a change and that I wanted to stay. I didn't want to go back, like just come here, finish the project and go back. So I quit that job, which was a big corporate job, and I'm like, I'm gonna start over. and I knew no one because I know that the Brazilian community is gigantic here in Orlando. I know that there's a smaller Japanese community, but I did not want to be in a bubble.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to go and find another bubble maybe that I can feel better. So that's how it was. And I moved here with my family. So my husband is a musician and an artist, and our daughter at the time was 3. Now she's 12, going 13. It's so crazy. But that was my journey, really. So when I quit that job, we were still in the process of waiting for our green cards. So I could not look for a job, right? We had to wait. It was a waiting period. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So I had no friends. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start going to stuff.
Wow.
And that's what I did. I started volunteering, finding organizations to volunteer. The very first one that I volunteered with was Creative City Project. And it was a very unique experience because my job with them was unloading a truck of bike racks and boxes for their festival downtown, which they closed like 10 blocks of downtown. So that was my job. And it's amazing because you flash forward 8-9 years and now I'm a board member with them.
It's a full circle moment.
Full circle moment, yeah. But then, I found a coach, a mentor. Then I went to Rollins for their mini MBA program because that's what I could afford. I couldn't afford the whole MBA program. Then I just set myself out and started attending things, and it was scary. I won't lie. Even though I am an extrovert, it was just very scary because making friends as an adult when you don't have those natural connections.
The natural connections is so...
It's so hard. It's so hard. But that was kind of my movement. And then eventually one day, my mentor at the time, she was at the Anzian Theater, and Terry Olson, who's the director of Orange County Arts and Cultural Affairs, they were talking, and he was like, I'm trying to start this thing, this multicultural thing. Do you know anyone who could be interested in this? And she was like, well, I know the perfect person. So she gave my number to him. And then the very next day, he called me and said, do you want to come for a brainstorming session? It's an all volunteer thing. It's just an idea, a project. And that was end of 2017. And I was like, yes, I'm going to be there.
And you were always involved in the arts since the beginning.
Kind of. And I think maybe because my husband is a musician, I was also looking for something like a connection for him as, maybe with this idea that I'm leading my family and I was the responsible one for bringing everyone. I'm like, want to make sure everyone is covered. So kind of, I think that was indirectly, unconsciously through him. He never really volunteered with me in any of those things, but I was also trying to find a way to plug him in. So kind of that was my start here. And then, once I was good to work, I was hired by Orange County Arts and Cultural Affairs, and then started developing Fusion fast, and here I am today.
Wow. Oh, that's a beautiful story, and Thali, because I think that when sometimes we have to start from zero. And I love that you share how you started making friends and connections, because I think, as human beings, we want to the same thing. It's like, okay, I now want to feel part of something, but how do I start? And I think volunteering for me, for example, has been crucial for my personal development, for my business development as well, because I think the people that are there, they are genuinely, kind-hearted. They want to give back. They want to help. They want to support. And you find good people, And I think that they want to see you grow and look how you...
And another thing that I did that I don't want to forget to mention, if anyone new in Orlando is watching this, is the Mayor's Academy, City of Orlando Mayor's Academy. I did that on my going second year here. And it was really amazing because it's a 6-month or 1-year program, and you get to go behind the scenes in city-owned facilities and seeing how the city works. And I made friends that are my very good friends to this day.
Wow.
Ricardo Williams from Nerd Night and Ricky Lee from Tasty Chomps. We are activists together to this day. We do events together, and it's just amazing. And it was something, I had no idea what that was. It looked really cool. It looked like I was going to learn something. It was free,
Yes.
and they fed me once a month during the sessions. I'm like, okay, sign me up for this. And I made amazing friends.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, I think the secret is just showing up.
Yeah, showing up, get involved. I think for everyone, cualquiera que nos esté escuchando, I think just be there, show up, get involved, and also that is part of your growth, and whichever stage you are.
Yeah.
I think it can be if you're just getting to a new city, right? And you want to meet people, or
Yeah.
you want to give back, and you find a nonprofit, that you can, that you're passionate also about.
Yeah.
For example, I'm passionate about those nonprofits that are really taking care of my Hispanic community, right? Like, I know they're doing something valuable for them, and because as I learned this, like I experienced it firsthand, right? Just seeing that I didn't have access to the same information that other people had, right? So that I have to like really work 3 times as hard to get that information, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I decided, actually, when I launched my company, it was to actually break, beat that bridge, so because there was a communication gap. My community wasn't receiving all the information that were out there. So I just think that's really, really important, and now that's what you're doing. Actually, at your new job, I'm really excited.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm so happy. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you started to do, because this is a new role.
Yes, that's 2 months.
Yeah, and a
only
new
2
role
months.
also
Yeah.
at United Arts.
Yes, it's a new department.
Yes,
Yeah. So after Fusion Fest, which I led for about 6 years since its inception, I felt like my work there was kind of, done, kind of like sending a kid to college.
But it was really meaningful what you did.
Yes. And I felt like,
6 years.
and I really felt like year 5 was amazing. We were able to get back to pre-pandemic levels. And I really felt like, I think I've done everything that I could for this. It's just time for something else. And I also needed just time to regroup and reroute. I have a friend who kind of like, we joke, we were kind of like the GPS rerouting.
Yes. Oh,
and
gosh.
that
has been the term today.
Yes.
Rerouting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I took some time. I took about 6 months, which is a privilege. Of course, you have to plan for this, but if you can, it's so valuable. It's amazing. And just also as a mom to be able to spend time with my daughter, because she was at a very crucial age of 12 years old. So I took time to invest in my writing, and it was amazing. And I wore so many hats during Fusion Fest, and I wanted to find, okay, what is the one hat that I really want to keep wearing?
Yes.
Because also wearing all those hats is unsustainable.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to find what my real passion was. And of course, Fusion Fest allowed me to explore a lot of possibilities.
Which is great, which is amazing.
It's so great. It's so
because
amazing.
I think that, from that experience, then you were like, okay, I love this. Now, which one?
Yes.
Is the one that I really
Yes,
love.
exactly.
Yeah.
Which one I'm going to be, the best in. So when Jennifer, and I've met Jennifer, of course, through Fusion Fest, but we also did a few programs together at OEP, the Blackboard Room Leadership. We went through that together. And So I think when she saw that this project was going to happen in partnership with Visit Orlando, she connected with a few people that she thought could be a good fit. So one of them, lucky me, was me. And as soon as I read the job description, and she had another position too, I said, no, this is
This is the
it,
one.
because it was something brand new, and
You could shape it just like you did
exactly,
also.
yes, yes. And I think that's very, very special. It's like developing a new program, developing partnerships, and really benefiting the community in a different way. And that's really where my heart is. So it took some time, but then finally I started January 5th, and the new department is called cultural tourism, and then the goal is to bridge the tourism industry and our local arts community. And what really excites me is that the tourists are already here, right? They are here already, and our arts organizations are so ready for that new audience. We have incredible talent. We have amazing productions, amazing exhibitions in visual arts, and incredible spoken word community that do poetry slams and storytelling. So
Orlando has grown so much.
yeah.
I got here when I was, it was in 2003. And I remember that we didn't have anything to do. It was going to the bowling, movie theaters, and that was it. Like, really, or to a restaurant, right? But then now we have so many options. It has, and
it's overwhelming.
It is,
right?
It is, but it's amazing because now you can like research and see, what do I want to do today? Like,
and there's
like
something for
things.
Everyone. Yeah, if you want to do something outdoors, if you want to do something indoors, if you want to do something I don't know, more science and history related, or you want something immersive, like there's so many options. So I truly love that my job is really just showcasing this to an external audience, which is also going to reflect internally. And so my job is to showcase the awesomeness that our arts have to offer, and how amazing talent we have here in Orlando, in Orange County in general, and entice our tourists, to come and go to theme parks, go to Disney, go to Universal, but then maybe you add one more day where you go see a show, where you go see some live music outside, where you go catch the opera, or go to a theater that it's very dedicated to the LGBTQ community, the Renaissance Theater. So as I said, there's something for everyone. Or go, if you have kids, you can go to a family, to the Orlando Family Stage. So I just love to see that there's so much potential in this, not only for people who are already coming here to add that extra night to explore our art scene, but also for people to come here just for the arts.
Yes, and I see this a lot of potential here at local level too, because I think Orlando has grown so much that sometimes we don't even know all the things that are happening here on a local level. So I think, we are also tourists in our own city.
100%.
And like, for example, I just saw, I have been watching this show, I Want to Have What Phil's Having. I have been watching this show for many years. Even before it was, he had another show before. And now when I saw that he came here, and of course this is more into the food industry, but showcasing Orlando so differently from what people used to see and how it was before, actually.
He showed the real Orlando, right? And I saw a quote, it made me teary, honestly, because he, on Forbes magazine, he said that, yeah, he said exactly kind of like what I say. Yeah, I said, yes, go to Disney
Yeah.
and go to the theme parks, but if you want to see the real
Exactly.
Orlando, it's outside of the parks, and you definitely need to check that out. And I love that because he's so right. You know, the theme parks brought amazing talent here,
Mm-hmm.
but those people, they decided to stay
Yes.
and build their communities, but keep their culture,
Yes.
and then create amazing experiences for us.
And
I
it's so
I
diverse because
So
you
diverse.
I know, like, you can go and search on the magazine that you, for example,
Mm-hmm.
that you guys have, and
Mm-hmm.
it's virtual too,
Yep.
and that you can go and search, oh, hey, I want to go, and uh I want to do a Asian theater, or want to
Mm-hmm.
see the opera, I want to
Yeah.
see Orlando Ballet. Like, so many different things
Yeah.
that you can search for based on,
Your interests,
yeah,
location, yeah, what kind of art you want to see. Yeah,
I know.
it's all on the United Arts website, unitedartscfl.org. You can check things to do on the calendar, and you see there's so many things to do. It's
I
amazing.
know.
So yeah, and I consider the dining scene culinary arts.
Yes,
I think it's also part
yes,
of our arts
it is. It
ecosystem,
is.
because food is art,
And I think
right?
you can also find it there, like, also.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so I'm really excited how things are, and also things change, but also how the organizations here at local level are coming together and partnering up, like Visit Orlando, United Arts,
Yes.
so we can, uh, leverage more, and people get to know the real Orlando. So
Yes.
I'm very excited about what you're gonna be doing, all the things that you're gonna be working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so excited. So it's been 2 months, and I just cannot wait until we are able to launch some things. It's a lot of research at this point,
Yes.
meeting with stakeholders, um, really understanding what we want to do with this in year 1, 2, and 3. Because I feel like we have, it's a golden opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to do this right, and sometimes to do it right, it takes
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So even if you think about the dining scene and the restaurants, it was, a long time coming,
Yeah.
for us to bring the Michelin star, and for us to bring
Yes.
the James Beard Award. And it was a lot of work behind the scenes to bring that. So I think that when the scene was ready, it all happened,
Mm-hmm.
and we're seeing the fruits of it. And I have the feeling that the same thing is going to happen with the
With the
arts.
arts, yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. It's just like when you go to Europe, for example. I lived in Europe for 2 years in Barcelona, and I remember, like, I always had something to do,
Mm-hmm.
and of course over there, the government, they really invest a lot in
Yeah.
their art, so they make art also free for
Yes,
people, which
accessible.
is
Yeah.
very accessible, and
Yeah.
that's huge. And I hope one day we can get,
Yeah.
there, because I think arts is it's very, it unites people,
Yeah.
unites communities, and I think everybody should have access to
Yeah.
art,
Yeah.
right? And
Absolutely.
so
Yeah. We can't live without it. If you think of music, how that can change your mood, elevate, or make you more sad if you need a good cry.
Yes, exactly. I'm
Right?
all for that.
Yeah.
For
So
That's
it
funny.
definitely, and I think during the pandemic, we also saw how it was important for us to survive that
Mhm.
lockdown, that we had movies
Oh
and
my
shows
gosh.
and music and
And
artists doing lives on
yes,
Facebook.
yes.
And
Or even going in their balconies and playing their instruments and things.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
we did
yes.
that. We did a driveway show in front of our house for our neighbors, and
Oh,
it was amazing. It was so great, and people were craving that because everything was not happening. So yeah, it's impossible to live without art. It would be very sad.
yeah.
I don't think we would make it.
No, I don't think so. But oh my gosh, Tali, thank you so much for sharing,
Yeah.
your story. And I know we still have much more to learn from you. But I'm really excited of, of everything that's happening with you. And I know
Thank you.
we'll still have some more to get to know each other and so many conversations ahead. But this is just the beginning, and I'm very proud to see you and how you have flourished and everything that you're doing for the community is so important.
Likewise. Every time I see you, doing your thing and being recognized for it, it makes me smile. I don't know the right word. It just makes me smile. Like I see that, I'm like, look at this girl. And and seeing you there just makes it possible for me too, right? So it's amazing. Yeah. And next time I'm on this podcast, I'm gonna be throwing some Spanish. I'm committed. Ooh. I am committed to, not being afraid or embarrassed of trying. Because, but Portuguese and Spanish, they can be a little similar. But it's scary.
I can understand it, for example. If you speak Portuguese slowly, I can understand it. But it is part of, I think and I was going to say, actually, through your journey with Fusion Fest, I bet you got to know a lot of our Latino influence and music and art. So
and I tried. I think my brain is my native language is Portuguese, but I grew up also with a lot of Japanese around me, and then I learned English at the age of 12. So when I decided that I should learn Spanish, my brain was like, no, we're at capacity, 3 languages or 2.5 languages, that's it. So, but I will say that after 2 glasses of wine, I am fluent in Spanish.
Oh, well, okay. So, that's what I say when I'm fluent in English when after 2 glasses of wine. Too.
Yeah, there you go.
Or a margarita.
Yes, there you go.
But thank you so much, Thali.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, and you are welcome. This is your home at Hablamos Spanglish.
Thank you so much. Gracias.
Muchísimas gracias, mi gente. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey of Hablamos Spanglish. It is a pleasure for me to explore the diverse stories and experiences within our vibrant Hispanic community. I hope that you have found inspiration, connection, and a deeper appreciation for our culture and heritage. Remember, our stories are what unite us and what make us stronger. Stay tuned for more captivating episodes in the future, and don't forget to follow us on social media and share your thoughts with us. Hasta pronto.